Lucifer, what is your problem?
Just that, sir.
Okay.
I'm a Christian, sir.
I'm pure and virtuous and wholesome and innocent. How can you say anything about me?
Sir, you need to be born again.
I am born again.
Now, did you just say that you are Lucifer?
I am Lucifer.
Okay, define Lucifer for me.
Pure, virtuous, wholesome, innocent individual that's out to help people.
Lucifer is?
Yeah.
Say that again. Lucifer is a pure, holy...
Virtuous.
Virtuous. Now, is he the Lucifer that God created?
That's the same one.
Oh, man, this is great. I'm going to put this on the internet.
Oh,
Amen.
God bless you,
Amen.
brother.
Because that's exactly what the Shriners and Masons teach, is that Lucifer is light.
No.
And you're
what about
confirming
those hospitals?
You know what, sir? Jesus said, "Many will say to me on that day, Lord, Lord, we did not do these good deeds in your name? And you'll say, away from me, you workers of iniquity. I never knew you."
Jesus said it?
In Matthew chapter 5.
Mercy.
No.
That's hard to believe.
So you're a Christian and you don't know that. Actually,
No, I really am.
you are.
Because I'm pure and virtuous.
You're pure and virtuous, okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, you're perfect without Jesus, right?
No.
Okay, tell me about Jesus. Who is Jesus?
Well, he's my leader.
Is he the Son of God?
Yes, he is.
Is he the only worshipful master?
Yes.
Have you ever been called worshipful master?
No, because I've just been too busy. I've been working.
Working.
Been working to help people.
What
like
kind
you.
of work? Okay.
Get out of here.
See, this is what a Mason confesses, is that Lucifer is light.
Hello guys, welcome to another video. I appreciate you joining me today. Today's video is about Shriners. Shriners. What is a Shriner? How does one become a Shriner? What's involved? And why do Christian men become Shriners? There's a conflict, a very obvious conflict if you just have eyes to see, but you know, when you're looking at the symbols, their fez hat, they all seem to have a very strong connection, tie, or involvement with Islam. So today I will be delving into the entire Shriner involvement by Christian men. And once again, ask them, why are you involved in being a Shriner? Well, if you've seen my Freemasonry videos, you know that Christian men should not be involved in the swearing of oaths. They should not be involved with secrets, keeping secrets, and they should not have religious ties with those who are unequally yoked. In Freemasonry, one of the only requirements is that you believe in a supreme being. So likewise, when I look into how do you become a Shriner? Well, to become a Shriner, it just says, according to this website, this is the ellsworthamerican.com. I will link it in the description below. How to become a Shriner. It says, to become a Shriner, a man must first become a Master Mason in what is known as the Blue Lodge. The only way to become is a Freemason. So, and this involves taking a series of 3 degrees: entered, apprentice, fellow craft, and Master Mason. Is to ask one. So they always ask to be one, ask one. Okay, that's their motto, one of their mottos anyways. It says, although some continue to think of Masons as a secret society, it prefers to be seen as a society with secrets. Talk about double speak. Qualifications. The only qualifications, it says, the mission of Freemasonry is to promote a way of life that binds like-minded men into a worldwide brotherhood that transcends all religious, ethnic, cultural, social, and educational differences. The craft teaches the great principles of brotherly love, relief, and truth. Okay? So then it goes on to say, if you are seeking membership, you must ask a Mason or a Masonic lodge for an application. You must be a man of at least 21 years of age. You must be of good moral character. You must have a personal belief in a supreme being. And in parentheses, they have the definition of a supreme being is up to you. Let's stop right there. So this organization with Christian men are calling brothers. They are entering into a brotherhood with people who may have a supreme being that is the devil, or demons, or witches, or anyone or anything that they consider to be a supreme being. They can make an idol. They themselves can worship themselves and call themselves a supreme being. So they get to define what the supreme being, and it's up to them, but just as long as they believe and they have a personal belief in it. Okay. It says, it goes on to say, you must be a resident of your state for 12 months at least. You must decide to become a Mason, in quotes, of your own free will and accord. And let's stop right there. So you see, God has given us free will. God has given us free will, as we saw in the very beginning with Adam and Eve. They had free will. They had free will to sin or to obey. And they disobeyed. Like each and every one of us. We disobey every day. But this is a choice. So this lets you know, okay, not just the spiritual ties of you first having to believe in a supreme being, just as long as, it's any supreme being that you have decided that you're going to worship. That's one. And then for you to come on your own free will and accord sounds just like a test, doesn't it? Sort of like you have to choose between the tree of life or the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Your free will. You have to choose. You have to choose. And then it goes on to say, you will need to express your personal interest in joining the fraternity. You must be loyal to your country. Loyal to your country. Not loyal to your faith. Not loyal to God, the God of the Bible, but loyal to your country. Which kind of sounds ironic when you think about their fez hats that have a scimitar on it that represents radical Islam. Okay, they have several other ones. The other ones I'm going to highlight, it says there are no religious, political, or racial restrictions for membership other than the aforementioned belief in a supreme being, as any discussion of religion or politics is strictly forbidden in an open Masonic lodge. So you can't witness to people. You cannot tell them about Jesus Christ. You cannot share the good news. They want you to just be diplomatic, I guess. Diplomatic. They want you to be brotherly, and to them, brotherly is to let them do what they want. In other words, the Luciferian doctrine of do as thou wilt. Do as thou wilt, as long as you believe in a supreme being, and you're loyal to your country, then you're fine. Okay? So clearly, it is a religion. It's a religion not just because, well, they tell you, I mean, with these lodges, they have a temple. You go to a Masonic temple. A temple is a place of worship, people, okay? So that, coupled with a personal belief in a supreme being, and coming of your own free will and accord, that's a spiritual, and a mental and a heart connection situation where you are coming freely, choosing whom you will serve, okay? And so, again, when you look at the symbols of Islam, they have the crescent moon and the star. And lo and behold, what you see on the Fez hats that Shriners wear. Oh, it's the compass, not the compass. Well, sometimes they have the compass and the square of Freemasonry, but they also have the sword, a scimitar, which is connected to radical Islam. It's connected to radical Islam. It says in 1033, this is about, okay, so apparently in 1033, and I've read different conflicting historical accounts. Of course, if you look at the Shriners pages and some Islamic ones, they will deny these events that took place in 1033, but there are, Wikipedia is one of them who recounts this historical event as a factual thing that took place in 1033. So it says in 1033, following their conquest of the city from the Magwawa tribe, these names, but the forces of Tamim, chief of the Zenata Berber Banu Afran tribe, perpetrated a massacre of Jews in Fez in an anti-Jewish pogrom. And a pogrom is basically, it is a riot. It's a riot that has been incited with the intention of massacring, murdering, killing a group of people. Whether it's for religious reasons or ethnic reasons, ethnicity. But that is your main purpose. It is to massacre and to slaughter a group of people. So it goes on. The city of Fez in Morocco had been contested between the Zenata Berber tribes of Miknasa, Magwawa, and Banu Banu Afran for the previous half century in the aftermath of the fall of the Idrisid dynasty. Tamim's forces killed over 6,000 Jews, and I read in a different article that it also included Christians as well. The Christian population was there as well, even though there were fewer Christians than Jews, but still they were there, and they were among the ones who had also been killed during this time. But it says they killed over 6,000 Jews, appropriated their belongings, and captured the Jewish women of the city. The killings took place in the month and they give their month, but which to us is May to June 1033. The killings have been called a pogrom by some recent writers. Okay. So the story continues to say that the reason that, okay, so the city was Fez, okay, and the historical background of the Fez hats comes from the fact that these tribes, they dipped their hats in the blood of those people that they had slaughtered in the streets, and the red came from their blood, the blood of the people who were killed. If that is true, once again, what do Christian men have to do with this brotherhood, okay, with this fraternity, What in the world do they have to do with this? Why are they involved in this? Even if this story or this historical account is not historical, and maybe there are some things that were added or taken away, still, just the fact that they are wearing these hats, which are strongly tied and connected to Islam, that's a different religion. But of course, because you don't really care who your brothers are, it's one thing to say, okay, I don't care if my brother has a different God than I do, because we don't talk about God. We don't talk about politics. We don't do anything that's going to ruffle feathers. Okay, how about, why are you wearing this hat that is of a different religion? I mean, why aren't you wearing a hat that has Jesus Christ as Lord? Or so when you wear that hat, how is that not offensive to Christians? Or why isn't it offensive to you if you can wear this hat so freely and proudly? And of course, when you see Shriners, most people only know Shriners based on the Shriners hospitals that they build for sick children. And I think that is a wonderful thing, to build these hospitals for these little ones who have life-threatening diseases and illnesses or disabilities, okay? But that does not in any way make up for their idolatry and their turning away from what they say they believe in. If they are saying they're Christians, then they should be Bible followers, Christ followers, okay? But clearly they have chosen a strange, false religion instead. The other thing that Shriners are known for are parades. The only time I see Shriners are when they're on those little cars, when they're driving in those little cars, acting like clowns. Just clowning around. Oh, look at me in my little car. Ha ha, I'm so funny, I'm so funny. And like it's just something so harmless. But this is very serious. I mean, when we know and think about how many Masonic lodge halls there are in a given city, when you enter the city, you are welcomed with or by a sign that usually has, this compass and square or a Shriner emblem with the crescent moon and star. Like, come on in, brother. I mean, who are they ushering in here? What are they ushering in here?
I had a past master that was working for me. He was the bookkeeper, and I was just interested in it and didn't really know that much about it when I applied. So I applied and went through and found out a lot.
I was aware of a number of people who were members, and never really got around to asking. I was not aware that you have to ask to be a Mason.
I had to ask the question to find out about Masonry because Masons don't solicit for membership.
If you feel you would like to be a member, well, then you may come forth. And all of the Masons that have ever joined have come forth on their own and asked the question. That's a basic principle.
Eric Parsing and I were like father and son. He was so good to me. I was the first guy he brought to Northwestern. My senior year at Northwestern, I was invited to quite a few of the bowl games, and I sat down with Eric because, like I said, he's like my dad. And Eric said, well, the only game I really want you to go to is the Shrine game, the East-West Shrine game in San Francisco. I go to San Francisco, and part of the Shrine program was to go through the hospital. And I went through the Shriners Hospital, and I was devastated. And then I saw the love that they gave to the kids, and that's where I am. And that's when I proceeded to make up my mind, I want to be part of the family.
Most important thing is the people.
It's the people that I have met.
Just a great bunch of guys.
You meet hundreds of guys that you probably never would have met before.
Who becomes a Mason? Accountants, businessmen, teachers, contractors, anybody and everybody. They come from all walks of life and all levels of income. And in the Masons, they're all equal.
Teddy Roosevelt visited his own lodge while he was president. He attended the meeting, enjoyed it thoroughly, and at the conclusion of the meeting, he rose and asked permission of the worshipful master to speak. And at the conclusion, he turned and thanked the worshipful master, who was his gardener on his estate in Long Island. It doesn't make any difference whether a man's a bricklayer or a physician. They meet on an equal ground and on equal footing within that lodge room.
The thing about the ritual work, the actual work that's done in the lodge, is that it's the same work that's been done for hundreds and hundreds of years. Every Mason, no matter where you go, has had the same traditions and gone through the same degree work. And that's one of the things that holds us together and really makes us brothers.
Organize the lodge.
There are just a lot of things that you don't know take place behind the scenes, and the only way you can find out really is by becoming active in it.